So this is gonna not be scripted and gonna have natural pauses and everything left intact. So for whoever really gives two shits or whatever, or at least I should just say, it's not necessarily a matter of me caring whether people know or not. It's just something I felt like talking about. So I don't, I just don't know. I don't. Whether it be a purpose, which for me, there is really none. Whether it be a motivational drive, effort, some sort of passion, all of that died. That died years ago. I don't know what it is that I would want for myself. And it's always that I know that what I would want for others and for them to not feel the way that I feel, have the thoughts that run in my head go into their head. Like anyone that has that feeling, just giving them that understanding, that relatability per se, where that feeling of oneself that is the most negative type of being, instead of oneself, and that being some sort of positivity or some sort of empowerment, For me, it's just everything feels lonely, lonesome. Yeah, sure, you've attained happiness, you've been content for a long time, but you don't know what that really entails for you. It's like once you gained what you thought you wanted, what's left? I don't fully understand how these things work, but I do know one thing, like the way my head space is, the way my mind, the way how I feel is, it all started really, really early. Back when, I'm just single digit age. I didn't have a full grasp of understanding it, or at least I did have a full grasp of understanding it. It's just with my vocabulary, obviously I wouldn't know how to put it into words, and growing up black, having black folk parents, granted, not both parents were in my life. It was just like a half my life growing up as a kid being with my moms, and then the other half being with my dad and whatnot. But it's a lot to unravel, but I just want to at least speak on it. So I probably should have said this first, but if you don't want to see or watch the video, hear my spiel, and hear potentially outside noises like motorcycles and loud vehicles, feel free to not watch the video. There is no shame in it. There's no shaming you, no hard feelings. It's probably what you're not here for. And there's like 300 of you all, so I don't really know what any of you all would even want, but I just wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out there on how, I guess you could say, the whole mental health thing can really affect you early on, just in case for if someone else is feeling the same way I am, and maybe you could pass it on to others, like this video, not like on some, oh, I have no shame, so I'm gonna plug in my info for this channel. No, it's nothing like that. So even as far as the channel goes, it's like last things I've been really doing is like streaming for the most part, streaming. Like I know there's been a lack of videos. It's just my passion just kind of died. my drive, everything, my ambition, like a lot of stuff just died. And I just feel like that wandering ghost. I don't exist because, apparently, ghosts don't exist. So it's like, I don't exist for one. And two, it's like, if there are ghosts, it's like, that's one of those things that we would all perceive as it shouldn't be. So that's just kind of, I guess you could say, how I feel. Like, I shouldn't be. Granted, a good portion of kids are like born off of accidents and stuff, but that definitely doesn't help into factor in the fact of how I feel about myself, my one self, and how I truly feel. And when it comes down to me actually being honest and not lying to people, saying, I'm fine, I'm okay, yeah, I'm good, having that smile that behind, just behind the whole entire smile is a really broken, shattered person. Not that you're fragile, it's just whatever made you up until this point is what really screwed you over. And that's how I feel. For me, in all honesty, anytime there's mention of this person or this famous person committed suicide or anything like that, I always think to myself, man, I wish I could have at least talked to them or had a conversation with them or something. But then again, there's always that side of me, that not nihilistic realism of, well, we're all gonna, like, everything's pointless. So it's like, I always feel a sense of envy, not in the sense of downgrading or downplaying their self-demise, but because it's like, who's to say that some people don't just want that? I know I've seen something online where it was years ago, so I'm definitely not going to be able to find it, where it was like, people who commit suicide are really just angels that want to come back home and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, is it kind of like on the religious side? Yeah, sure, but hey, who's to say? I never necessarily had an issue when it came down to the topic of it. It's just, I just see it as, wow, they were able to do what they wanted. For those that actually just did want to have that freedom, that I consider it to be freedom. But most people will say, oh, that's selfish. Da, da, da. You're going to put all these people into a negative feeling and they'll miss you. And it's like, what about people that don't have anyone? People that feel like they don't have anyone. What do you say to them? If it comes down to people who you do have loved ones for, but like, for those that don't have anything, nothing at all. And most people will say, oh, well, there's got to be something. But what if there's nothing? What if you realize the fact that early on in life, that life and all this stuff, everything in the reality of it is, we're all going to age and rot away. That is the harsh reality behind life. Age is a number. No, age is a process, an ongoing process. And the moment your process stops working, you got to force close that application and hopefully you'll get to start again. Terrible analogy for it, if analogy or metaphor. I don't know. I don't care. That's English class. I'm not in school. I don't care if I don't know the proper terms, but that's just how it is. This planet is just a giant machine now, and we're just multiple processes running through everything. And frankly, with the way the world seems, it just feels like one big virus. One big virus just trying to do its own thing for whatever reason to screw up the whole entire computer. But in order to do that, you need files that can corrupt other files. And it just feels like that's what the world is really like. Now, is it really how that is? You know, could I go somewhere in a whole different country, different living climate or whatever, and be completely fine? Yeah, sure. But like, I'm not. Well, then go. Well, I can't. Why not? Because I can't. Responsibilities, like bonds and ties that I have with people. It's not as simple as it seems. You can't just say, get better, or look at it on the bright side, or it could always be worse. Well, everyone's conditions are always going to be different. Now, are there dumb people that like to just be really blown out of proportion? Yeah, sure. But when it's not blown out of proportions, that's when it becomes iffy, because then you have the actual people who need the actual help. And I don't even, matter of fact, no, not help, but assistance. Assistance to fulfill whatever it is that will give them some sort of desire to have that drive, that ambition, that passion back. But for me, I just don't have it. I don't have it anymore. It's like things make sense and don't make sense at the same time. And depending on what it's about, I just find myself not being bothered with any of it. But I guess starting off with the beginning being in like single digits and stuff, no, I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to. I don't. I just wanted to get my thoughts out. I don't really know how this video will be, if I'm even going to edit it and just have it at this dark screen. I really don't. I just don't have it. Whatever it was that I had, I just don't have it anymore. I really don't. Sorry if this video brought your day down, but yeah, hopefully you all are doing good. Friends, family, loved ones in your life alike, and peace out. Bye-bye.